I'm super excited. I've been manifesting this live stream for a long time, for over, I would say almost 2 years, but I had to find the right mental health care provider to do it. Some of them are very camera shy.
I am sometimes camera shy.
Okay, sometimes camera shy. I had to learn to not. It depends on the day. Sometimes I'll be burnt out and I'm like, no cameras today. No phones, no cameras, no technology whatsoever.
No paparazzi.
No paparazzi, exactly. But today is a live stream marathon, so we're having a paparazzi day. And I have been a spa owner for 12 years. Spa owner, esthetician, energy healer. And before that, I used to like sing songs, sell my art, or other people would sell it. And, bottle service, go-go dancing, all kinds of things, bartending. And you wouldn't necessarily think that these things are like, they're not healthcare providers, but, these kind of jobs can also attract stalkers or people with erotic transference. So, erotic transference is something that is very normal that happens, when healers are working on people. And most people, when you explain to them what that is, they're like, oh, okay, cool, I understand boundaries. And then you can just go about the focus of the mission, which is, helping your client or patient. And, then some people just can't take no for an answer. So we're going to be talking about both of these things. I really wanted to find somebody who was like actually a licensed mental health professional to talk about this, so it wasn't just me talking about experiences, right? So we have Megan here with Attuned Wellness. And so erotic transference is something that I deal with often, especially because we make people hot here, right? So like I'm hot, you're hot, everybody's hot here, So it's, I have people that, will kind of get that confused often. Most of the time I'm just like, hey, I appreciate the comment, we're here to make you hot. Obviously I'm hot, it's my job. You gotta be a good billboard. But we want to keep the mission focused on you and your goals. And we want to make sure that we're having proper boundaries here. So, I mean, this happens multiple times a week when I have new clients. Girls, guys, doesn't matter. So, and most people are like, okay, cool, whatever, client, friends, and then we never talk about it again. Sometimes this will happen where people, they just get stuff caught in their head, kind of like Dumb and Dumber, how he's chasing the Mary Swanson. And he's like, so what do you think there'd be a chance of you and me? And he's been obsessed with this girl forever, right? She's like, I would say 1 in a million. And he's like, so you're saying there's a chance? And he was still like on the little weird side, but not necessarily like creepy. People can get into the creepy side. We want to talk to you guys about like ways you can protect yourself from that. And it really does start with strong boundaries from the beginning. A lot of times you want to be, when you're a healer, you can kind of be a little bit of, on like the people pleasing side, you don't know what to say. And sometimes not having those strong boundaries from the beginning, be like, yeah, okay, we can be friends or whatever. You're just trying to shift focus, but you're not shifting hard enough, right? You got to do a hard right with that stuff. And you're just trying to like veer over and then you hit a tree. You get the metaphor? Does that make sense? So we want to kind of talk about how to navigate that, and then also to be able to catch the red flags, because sometimes you can see people are just, the quicker you can block them, the better, so they don't turn into stalkers. So can you kind of give them the technical definition of erotic transference?
So erotic transference is really just projecting one's sexual feelings onto the person in front of them.
So yeah, and that can be like anybody, right? But wasn't it coined originally for like therapists?
Probably. So transference originally started, I believe, with Freud. So it's one of the original, like, psychology terminologies.
Okay.
You're testing my, like, one-on-one knowledge.
We brought you in here for the definitions, Professor. Professor Megan. And then, so that can happen acutely, right? Just the person in front of you. And then that can lead into, like, limerance, which is like you might have not seen this person in years, you know, but you're like constantly obsessing about them. So can you tell them more about like limerence?
So limerence really became huge during like COVID, I would want to say.
Really?
Well, not really.
Just
but
the phrase or just the awareness of it?
I think most people know it because of social media.
Okay.
But limerence is really just wanting that one person and thinking like they are the one without even having any kind of like interaction with them.
Okay.
It can be like someone you know, someone you don't know.
I feel like people do that with like celebrities a lot, you know, or like social media, public figures and stuff.
Very much so.
I've had this, the first time I had this happen, I was actually like in high school. And like, you know, I'm autistic, I'm ADHD, I'm in my own little world most of the time. I'm not really paying attention to anybody, you know. Plus, you know, cannabis, Mary Jane's one of my good friends. I'm literally in my own world. Helps a lot with my autism. So like, I don't know who half these people are, right? And I would leave for school every day, my senior year, to go get chiropractor treatments because I got hit by a mailman truck. And
that sounds terrible.
I was in a truck. I was in a car. So it was like, okay. He didn't. But if I felt bad for the guy because he was like just about to retire, and I was like, oh man. But he totally like came right out and like T-boned me. I was in a giant van, so it was fine. But
okay, so I was not expecting you to walk.
Like walking, like yeah, that would be extra horrible. Not like the worst car to get hit by though. I guess it's kind of like a big golf cart.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is.
So I guess this guy was like watching me every day, like leave. I didn't know. And, you know, sometimes you don't even know these people are stalkers. They'll just be watching you, and they've been watching you forever by the time they come talk to you, right? Especially, it's got to be even worse now with social media. Social media was not around back then.
MySpace.
Not even MySpace.
Oh, really?
I'm that old.
Okay.
I look really young, but it's because I'm really good at my job. No, MySpace was definitely, I think, right after I graduated high school.
Okay.
So, gotta get the good oils. So then one day, this guy saw me walking out, and he was like, I know, hottie with the body. That's what we do here, baby. Work on hotties with the bodies. Today we're doing the face, though. We'll do Amber's body next. So this guy stops me as I'm walking out, and I was just like after school special. Like this knew how to kidnap me. He was like, hey girl, you want some weed? I'm like, yeah. I must be a chiropractor till then. Till whatever. So we walk to this like neighborhood across the street, and we go like stand outside this. This is the dumbest thing ever, but it's the truth. I can't, you know. It's okay. I'm fine. I'm grown now. My brain is fully formed. Mm-hmm. Mostly. Look damaged. Oh, you go ahead.
Fun fact. Your brain continuously... Neuroplasticity is the real thing. So your brain can actually change.
Forever.
Yeah.
My favorite book is The Brain That Changes Itself. Have you read that one?
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I haven't read it, but I have friends who read it. It's supposed to be really good.
I'm going to get you a copy. I've bought that book for so many people, especially like parents of neurodivergent kids. It literally changed my life when I went to college.
Sure, I think it's on my bookcase.
Is it? Oh my gosh, it's like literally, I've read that like so many times. That's the first place I found Frequency-Specific Microcurrent is like the first chapter in that book when they were rebuilding that woman's brain with the frequency helmet after having her inner ear canals destroyed, and it brought back her balance and got rid of her vertigo.
Oh wait, I had a different book. I have a book about someone who had a stroke and like having like how like she reprogrammed after only having like
half of her brain.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Something like that. I don't remember what it's called. So if someone out there does know what I'm talking about, that's great. But
yes, I love that.
No, anyways, yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah,
your brain is usually fully formed by the age of 25 to 27.
Yeah, 25 to 27 is when it's like, you know, got its, like, what could you call it, like a baseline? It's like mostly formed, and then you can still change it later on, but.
So like all the core parts are like developed. Like that prefrontal cortex is really what's the last thing.
So then I heard also recently that like neurodivergent people, sometimes it takes till 35 for their brain to fully form. Have you heard anything like that?
No, but I believe
that. I mean, I feel like my brain's still forming.
There's also one research study out there that I've seen that says like our brains in general are not fully formed until we're 40.
Until we're 40?
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Like, you know, we don't need a full brain when we're like procreating or anything like that. That's not important. So, yeah, we're just standing outside this window with this dude, like, he's like, yeah, my buddy's gonna give us some weed. I was like, you know, one of those, like, apartments where it's like half underground. So it's like a window on the inside, but we're on the floor. So I'm just standing out there like, oh, okay. And then eventually I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go. So, it was nice to meet you. And then I just walked back to my car and went to the chiropractor, right? Didn't see this guy for like another couple weeks. And literally, I don't ever even remember making eye contact with this person before this event. And I was working at Buca de Beppo at the time. And they have like the hostess stand is kind of like a pedestal, right?
Like the Italian restaurant?
Yeah, Buca de Beppo in Greenwood.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was a weekday. It wasn't that busy. And all of a sudden, this guy comes in. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? And he's just like, he gets on his knees and proposes to me and tells me that he's going to have to go away to jail for weed and wants to know if I will wait for him. I'm like, bro, we have not even hung out for more than like 15 minutes ever. We walked to a window and then I walked back to my car. Like, where is this even coming from? But he went on this like whole soliloquy, like, I don't know what was going on. Thank God, like one of the servers, I'll never forget him, God bless his soul, Brett. This dude was like 6'5", and he walks in and he's looking at my face because I'm like there all by myself in this little room with all these like, they got the creepy pictures and stuff.
They're like the Italian Cracker Barrel.
I look real. That's probably because I am real. Thanks. So he walked in and I just look at him with like a eyes of fear, and I'm like, that's my boyfriend. And this dude just looking up. He's probably like, I don't know, 5'9", like a skinny kid for like, maybe senior, junior in high school or something. Just looks up at this giant like linebacker looking dude, and he's like on his knees, from his knees. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll go. And then he left and I never saw him again. So that was like the first like, stalker limerance thing that I experienced. Pretty sure it was my senior year of high school. And, I could write a couple books, honestly. So it's really important if you've had that kind of thing that I'm like, okay, well, what is it? What makes these people like that? Because then I've had other friends that are like, I don't have any stock. I'm like, you want mine? Like, I'll give them your number next time. What the fuck is that? Why are you sad about that? I don't understand.
Why do you want a stalker?
Why do you know? They're not fun. And I've had girl ones and boy ones. The girl ones are worse. Or in my experience, my girl ones have been worse. We're back. We're doing a little face sculpting. I'm so excited we found a mental health practitioner. And she actually, you specialize in CPTSD, right?
Yeah, a lot of trauma. Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about that in the future. The EDMR stuff. I've heard about that. I don't know what it is.
Eye movement desensitization reprocessing. Yeah,
so we're going to shoot a video about that. We're not going to do it live. We tried to do the energy healing meditation live the other day, and like the live cut out. I just think that there's too much energy. My energy's strong. It can like short out electricity and stuff. So we're going to film it and then we'll post it.
Yeah.
Got brand new skin, baby. We use the Ella Bardo Black Label polish today. Getting that stress out of the face. A lot of people don't realize how much stress is like stored in the face. And nothing makes your face look older than stress or grief in the shortest amount of time. Like literally you can like see it the next day a lot of times on people.
I mean, the body holds stress in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you can have it all over the body. When we do body sculpting stuff, it's we see that as well. But you can wear clothes, right? A lot of people aren't covering up their face. And we have emotions, so like those emotions, when we get emotional with our face. I was like, why do I have a Band-Aid? Oh, I got a shot today too. So this is the Frequency-Specific Microcurrent. Energy on that scarlet frequency I was telling you about. So scarlet frequency is a really great one for like women's health in general. I love it. I always do skin tightening on myself with this one if I'm having bad cramps during period time.
Oh, really?
It's amazing. So she has had facials before. She does get monthly hydro facials. So this is good, but this is her first time getting face sculpting.
It's my relaxation thing. I don't know what it is about the face. In general, though, I'm guessing you can tell this too, and you were talking about it a little bit. A lot of people wear attention in their jaw.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we literally have a whole special like TMJ help facial where we do the buccal massage. So just like the one I was telling you that was like safe for pregnant women.
Yeah.
So it's like a version of that mixed with this. So this will break up the adhesions because we got adhesions that'll build up in that area. And for some reason, I see people with a lot more adhesions on the left side over the last year. I don't know what that's about, and a lot more tightness. Even people who don't have TMJ. Mine's on the left side, but I've been hit in the face a lot, so that's what that's from.
I'll do it. Our body remembers everything.
Yeah, when I was in Taekwondo, I was not that great at blocking with this left hand. But you get good. You get hit in the face enough, then you get good at it, right?
This is a better reason. I was like, why are you getting hit in the face so much? That's not the worst reason.
Well, you know, other reasons too, but we'll have to talk about that on one of the PTSD episodes.
Fair enough.
And then, so the difference between PTSD, CPTSD is like, and tell me if I'm wrong or right, or you can add to it. CPTSD is like multiple traumatic things kind of added together, or what is the best way to complex PTSD?
So really what it is, so it can be like multiple things that happen over many years, or it can be like, sometimes it can present if you have like one trauma that's just like prolonged. So think of like a child who grew up at a home where like a parent had like multi-year like terminal cancer, which is terrible.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So like things like that, or someone who has like a child who, not child, a sibling who has like special needs or something, and they get like kind of not neglected so much, but like the needs of the child's disabilities gets put above theirs.
Oh, I have a client like that.
Oh,
I mean, she's old, like we've helped her a lot with like the energy healing thing. And what was interesting how that kind of crosses over is like the biggest issue for her was her throat chakra. And like I think, you know, what's also come out in energy stuff is like it was past life stuff too. But it really makes sense with the throat chakra kind of being blocked. And even when we would do her face, like we'd get to her neck and she wouldn't let me do her neck. And she really needed the neck, so we got her, you know, she's in her mid-50s. So her face was looking literally like 28. And I'm like, girl, your neck looks extra. Your neck looks older than it even is because it's next to your 28-year-old face. We got to get that neck, you know? But that she was in that situation, and it makes sense because, like, if the needs of the special needs sister are going first, then you don't really have a voice.
Yeah.
You know? So those kind of things can, like, affect, you know, if it affects your chakras, it can affect, like, how you're building up toxins and stuff, too, right? If you don't have an open throat chakra, you can get a lot more toxic stuff in this area.
Yeah, so that can be part of it. And then PTSD, which I think is part of your original question, is usually considered after like one trauma.
Do people literally have just one? Is that a crazy question?
Yeah. You can get like PTSD if you get into like a singular car accident.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know.
There is I want to say research studies, and I don't know any of the details off the top of my head, so I apologize to anyone watching this. So it sounds like I'm saying it out, like making things up. But they've done studies to show that people who come home from wars are more likely to get PTSD if they've had childhood, if they have a higher ACE score.
A higher what?
ACE score.
What's an ACE score?
Adverse childhood experience.
Okay, so I'm high on that one. That's where that one started. So, but then yeah. I've also thought like if you grow up like and you have a lot of like the CPTSD from like childhood stuff and you know manifesting and like what we're used to and stuff like that. I know that there's like got to be studies on that. Like if you've experienced that as a child, you're way more likely to experience it as an adult. I've always wondered, is that something that we're attracting? You know, something when I do my own energy clearing with, you know, myself, or I work with a lot of other practitioners and I'm trying to like purge that and like reprogram it to be like, okay, I learned this from the situation without being like too hyper vigilant. Does that make sense?
It does. So our brain, one of my favorite random sayings is what fires together, wires together.
Oh yeah, I love that saying. Yeah.
Right? So if you're used to like, speaking of hypervigilance, if you're like used to like knowing certain steps in a house mean X, Y, and Z is going to happen, then you're always going to assume someone walking through a house in a particular way is going to lead to a certain event.
Okay.
So when you're an adult, you're more likely to notice that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then you end up in relationships. You can end up in relationship patterns that look very much like they did in childhood.
Right. Yeah.
Which goes back to stalking a little bit, actually.
Yeah, stalking or like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, dang it, why am I so attracted to you? You know what? I'm also attracted to, like, you know, what's that uranium glass? It's toxic.
Is that the stuff that like glows in the dark?
Yes. I always have to hold myself from buying that on Facebook. But I also feel like there's, you know, certain people I can't, who've just had such like a simple, I don't want to say simple as a bad thing, you know what I mean? As like they had a pleasant, regular childhood. It's really hard for me to relate to somebody, or even, you know, somebody maybe they did, but then they went to war. It's hard for me to not to relate to somebody who hasn't had trauma. It's hard for me to even imagine that there's people out there who haven't had trauma. Like, it's hard for me to imagine that even exists. I know it's true, because those are probably people who feel weird about me and I feel weird about them, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to be said about it. I don't know. I think most people have some form of trauma or childhood attachment or something. I said people probably have something. Everyone has a little bit of something.
A little bit of something, okay. And different things can traumatize, but like something that could be like, to me, I'm like, oh, that's nothing compared to what I have experienced. But it doesn't really matter. Like, it can still rewire the brain in a way that looks similar in scans.
Yeah.
You know, so something could be like, oh, I had this bully on the bus. And I'm like, that's it? Like, you know what I mean? But it could even reprogram it even more, right?
Yeah, so you and I could have the exact same experience, and you could be traumatized, and I could be like happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
So it depends on how much resilience we have to different things.
And now, do a lot of people come to you knowing their trauma, or are certain people come to you and you kind of got to discover where that comes from? With energy healing, a lot of times we have to like discover where that's at.
So it varies. Most people know something. If you're coming to me, you have some sort of trauma, but you don't know necessarily where it comes from. And that doesn't even get into trauma that we have before, like, you know, we have hardcore memories installed in your brain. So it varies. And it doesn't necessarily, you can heal trauma without knowing like every fine detail about it.
I like that. Because back, you know, some therapy I did, they're like, let's relive this 9,000 times. I'm like, I don't understand how this is helping me. I just feel like I'm entertaining you at the moment. Like, you should be paying me right now. Like, but there's so many more. I mean, this was like 20, you know, years ago or whatever. So I just feel like they have a lot more like solution-based therapy than just trying to like discovery. Because I felt like they were very much in like a discovery mode, but not like, okay, so now what do I do? Yeah. I just remembered all this shit. I was did all that work to block, you know?
No, so there's a lot of like, what is it called? Bottom-up approaches and downward approaches, I think is what it, I don't know. Sometimes you start from the bottom, so like EMDR is more of like a bottom-up approach where you start with the trauma, and then you have like CBT that starts more with like the emotions and you work your way down.
Interesting. So what was the first one? The PTSD is starting with that because there's just one, so they know what it is. Okay.
So like EMDR, but you can use EMDR for a lot of different things.
Does EMDR work better for PTSD than CPTSD?
It works for both.
Okay.
I used it on both. I prefer though internal. I prefer like parts work for like CPTSD. Oh my god.
So many letters.
Sometimes I just feel like I'm talking acronyms out of them.
You're an exhibitionist and you're told it's from trauma. Do you remember what trauma it's from?
Oh, that's interesting.
Is that common?
I don't know.
I mean, since I have some like religious trauma from growing up Mormon, and they wanted us to like be very ashamed of our bodies, like bodies were for like ovens, and that was it. So, I definitely would consider myself more of like an exhibitionist from that. Like, don't you tell me what to do. I'll show my nips if I want to.
Right? There's that. Some people go like full on like
extra covered.
Yeah.
No, that's funny because I have another really good friend. We did not grow up Mormon together, but she went from Mormon to Muslim. So she went that other way. But it's funny because we still understand each other in that same thing. And she like kind of lives vicariously through me. She's like, yeah, girl. show that booty on the beach. You know what I mean? So it's funny because we still, it's showing two different ways, but it's, I don't know, it's healing together. That's interesting that you say that.
It depends. Like everyone's, no matter who you are, I think everyone responds differently. You can have the exact same information and make two different decisions. Neither one's wrong. So.
Yeah, it's just so it's so funny and interesting always to me, like how people's brains works. Because I didn't know how mine worked, and nobody else knew how mine worked around me either. I didn't get my autism diagnosis till I was like 17.
Oh, you were. That's actually both early and late
for women.
Yeah, especially back when you were 17.
Yeah, so this was probably 2004. And I was like, what do you mean Asperger's? Because I babysat a lot of kids with autism at the time. So I was like, no, but they were like, super autistic, the flappy arms, the yelling. But it made sense like now, like I was the only one who could babysit them because we all like kind of speak on this like psychic frequency together.
That double empathy idea.
What is that? Is there a name for it? I love learning the words.
Yeah, I think it's double empathy. It's where people who are neurodiverse are more likely to interact with other people who are
we can tell
Yeah.
And then also like I feel like other people, I was saying this at like with the high school reunion and stuff. I went to my 20-year high school reunion the other day, and I feel like not neurotypical people can kind of smell the neurodivergence on us, like, or like feel the frequency or something. Somehow we always like, and I was like one who could talk, and I didn't realize from a young age, like if I saw somebody getting bullied, then I would go beat up the bully. But I could talk, but it was just like my autistic sister. You leave my autistic brother or sister alone. You're gonna deal with me.
Yeah, so it's I don't know how I got started, but I've heard of that term, like double empathy for like.
Yeah, like it's cool because now they actually have words for it because they are just discovering like new things all the time. But I didn't understand what was going on when I was younger, and I was like, whatever. Okay, Asperger's, that makes sense because I would get in trouble for talking all the time. I later got diagnosed with the ADHD in college. Now it's called ADHD, and it is different. And then the CPTSD. The CPTSD keeps me functioning though, because at the end of the day, those two things, like they can work really well for me or against me. But the CPTSD is like, you better get your ass to work so you're not homeless or starving. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Let's go. We're gonna turn on the face today.
Yeah, like safety.
Safety, yeah. That one's like the drill sergeant of all of it.
No.
Yeah, the other day when somebody tried to like break into the backyard, I'm like, secure the perimeter.
Your dog has.
Get the latches.
Sounds like your dog was on top of it.
My dogs were on top. My dog will eat anyone. You guys, if you haven't seen the dogs, like go check those out in the stories. Lucky literally comes from the streets. I have to train him. I've spent thousands of dollars training him to not bite people that he likes. So, good luck. Good luck with that one. And whoever it was, like, they couldn't even hop a fence. I mean, what are you going to do versus my dogs? That's hilarious. Yeah, but that was fun. That triggered some stuff.
I would imagine.
John wants to know, is there a usual cause for somebody to become an exhibitionist?
I have no idea.
No idea.
I'm guessing it probably is. My hunch is trauma related, but I can't be sure. It's usually expeditionists. I don't know how they mean it. They're like just showing random people.
He just likes people to watch him. That's what he says.
Sometimes it's a power thing.
A power thing?
Right.
Oh, that makes sense. Like an ego thing? Yeah, that makes sense.
But everyone, this is, I don't think, one thing, everyone's different.
Oh, for sure. I imagine like if somebody's telling you not to do something all the time, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And just like, different, zodiacs have different vibes and all that kind of stuff. Everybody really is different.
Well, think about it. When you're a kid and your parents like don't drink.
Right.
What were you wanting to do?
Drink, yeah, as a Mormon. Well, I didn't say I was like necessarily drinking. I just wanted to get kicked out of the Mormon church. And my other friend, Chelsea, she ended up getting pregnant and getting a disease before she was like 17. So I was like, okay, that's not the way to go.
Like, do you mean like an STD disease?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was trying to get kicked out. Her dad was, racist, so she had a baby with a black guy. And They still didn't end up kicking her out. They just moved her somewhere else and made her go to extra church. So it's like, okay, we're not going to go that route. We'll just start showing up to church on drugs. How about that?
Did it work?
No. I eventually like was like, hey, I'm leaving. Like, I mean, I was just embarrassing my parents. So like, every time you bring me here, I'm gonna come here and eat acid, or you can just stop making me go to church. It's up to you. You know what I mean? But it did take like a year because they did do like, okay, you have to go to church 7 days a week now for a while.
That's a lot of church.
Oh God. Sometimes I know. Sometimes it was twice a day, in the morning before school. And I mean, you know, you can't brainwash. It's harder to brainwash somebody just once a week. You know.
Yeah. That is true. So religious trauma.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of people with that, you know, especially women. You know, I mean, very ashamed of their bodies.
One of my books I recommend a lot to people is called Pure.
What's it called?
Pure, P-U-R-E. It's about purity culture and the effect it had on a woman's like sex life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it screwed up women's view of sex. Like they would get married and like now I can have sex, but this still feels wrong.
Oh yeah.
Or they left the church and like sex still feels like it's
like a sin.
Wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a lot of people who've come to me like after being Mormon for years, you know, and have now decided to quit. And it's interesting because I'm kind of watching them go through the process where a lot of them want to just go like radically the opposite way instead of like discover. They're just like can't get far enough away from it. So there's so many people who are there's like a huge trans community among women now in the Mormon church because they just don't want to be a Mormon woman, you know. And not to say that there's not real trans people, but like it's just statistically those numbers aren't real. And if I was during that age in the trans thing, I was being like, cut my tits off. So like that's all I got to do. I'm a boy now. Just leave me alone, you know. And it's just I feel like if there could be religious trauma there in that experience, I feel like that should be explored, but it's so hard because the parents, if they're still religious, don't want to admit that the religion could be part of the trauma, you know.
No.
Just before we're cutting body parts off or doing things impermanent, let's just explore that, you know, so we know for sure.
I thought the Mormon church was against transgender.
They're going through a weird shift.
I don't follow Mormon.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just know from here or there, they're going through a weird shift where there's like a lot of people who are going like, who went from like far radical right are going to far left. And there's just a lot of weird stuff going on in there right now. I'm like, I don't even understand, which has got to be so confusing because like what you believe in your church and what you believe over here are totally contradicting each other. So then it's really like my brother, he's like that. He's like went super Mormon and then super, super woke. And he just seems you can't have a rational conversation with him because he doesn't know which side to pick in his mind when he's having a conversation. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, this tickles for some reason.
The throat chakra stuff.
My throat tickles like no other sometimes, so I apologize in advance.
I knew there was some throat chakra stuff in there. Try to breathe. Yeah, we do have a little bit of blockage on the vagus nerve here. Remember I was telling you we were going to do scarlet on the vagus nerve?
Oh, yeah, right there?
Yeah.
That hurts when I laugh.
Well, we're going to help with that. It makes sense. There's a lot of junk in there. She's got junk in the neck trunk. We're going to get it out.
Thank God, because it hurts to laugh. No.
Just normally?
Like, if I laugh, like, really, like, you know when you get, like, a good laugh? Not like a chuckle? Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, you got a lot of lymph buildup there. It's like choking your vagus nerve.
Yeah, like, I can feel it.
So after we're doing this with the frequency, she'll be able to move this more. So keep your head that way. You know, it's intense. The first time's always intense, especially if you got something there.
It's just the side. The other side's totally fine.
Like, yeah, there's definitely something in there. You can see it.
Yeah.
Breathe, breathe. You're doing good. Does it tickle or hurt or both?
It's just uncomfortable.
I mean, there's definitely something. It's moving in the right direction.
I keep wanting to move away from it.
I know. Have you ever seen a doctor about it or anything? Or
No.
no?
Because it just kind of like comes and goes.
Yeah, I think it's just like a lot of stuff with toxins. Because it is moving. So people get this a lot with like tech neck. And like I'm saying, I don't know what it is about the left side.
You were saying that earlier.
Yeah, everybody's left side is
Well, that felt
mad
good. I don't know
jacked
what
up.
you just did.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was we're breaking up this stuff from the lymph nodes. So I got those magic hands. We can sculpt with just the hands. But sometimes people are like, "Ow, what was that?" And I have to ask them, I'm like, "Did it hurt or was it just weird?" They're like, "Oh, it was just weird." I was like, "Okay." Well, a lot of things are gonna feel weird, but it's important to understand the difference between weird and hurting. Yeah, you just got a lot of fluid in it. Yeah.
God. Yeah, this is so uncomfortable.
It's shrinking though.
That's good. Oh, you can notice it?
Yeah. It's actually moving. But you have some junk in there.
Yeah, it's like the muscle feels really tight. Or it felt really tight. I don't know what it feels like right now.
No, it's not the muscle, so there's like a lot of stuck lymph there.
Oh, I know. I just meant generally. That's what I thought it was.
Is it tight? Yeah, because it was right over the. There we go.
Oh, that feels so much better.
I know. Magic hands and the magic wands.
Oh, it's like...
Feel the two sides.
Yeah, like this actually feels... Like that right there is super tight.
Yeah, so you should be able to keep draining on your own and just keep pulling from the back of your neck across over and pull down to your heart. Like after this, especially like in the bathtub is good if you're like under the hot water or any kind of hot tub, whatever. And you should be able to keep draining. You'll keep seeing results over the next 7 to 10 days too. But you'll be back before 10 days, so.
That's so crazy.
I know. Magical.
I feel like I've done a month of training before and didn't do anything.
It depends on who does it. Mine's more intense. Because I'm not just doing lymph drainage, I'm also like retraining the muscles of your face. I know a lot of lymph stuff is like...
Well, yeah, it was more of like a dry massage kind of thing. She's like, we
Yeah.
don't use oil. Oh, good though.
Yeah, there's like different things for different stuff. I like my goal here is always to like get the most results possible in a short amount of time.
So why does...
So we can actually put this frequency on this machine on a frequency specifically for lymph. Wrap you up in the towel like we had in the beginning before we started the live. And the frequency will actually do lymph. It'll actually do lymph stasis if the lymph is stuck. And that's kind of what that was here.
I was like stuck.
So it's still like what, I'll use the frequency, but then I mix in. So there's like the pumping, and then there's the tickle. So I've got a special style. So I'm mixing in the lymph with the muscle manipulation with the sculpting all in one. And I know a lot of people, so most people who've trained on lymph, they're just knowing like the light lymph system. The school that I went to, it's like based on Chinese medicine. So we learn about the paralymphatic system with Western medicine just discovered like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's not real until Western medicine discovered it, even though they've only been around for 200 years.
Yep.
So I've had so many employees who argued with me who like trained in lymph. They're like, that's not how you do it. I'm like, that's because you're just doing lymph. If you want to see the results, we got to get into the paralymphatic system. You're not going to see instant results just from doing lymph.
That's crazy. No, it's kind of like with healing. Certain things have been around for like thousands of years.
What's been working for thousands of years? Give me that. That's why we have the acupuncturist, because like that kind of stuff. And like, there's so many things that have been around for thousands of years where you feel better instantly. It's not like, okay, you got to hope and pray for 30 days and then it might make you better. It might mess you up even worse. Like pharmaceuticals, it just doesn't have a great track record with me. Now, I'm not saying we don't need them, thank God for, antibiotics and different stuff. But I'm always like, whatever I can do to avoid that, that's why we got into wellness.
So there's, even with healing like trauma. psychedelics.
Oh,
and-
for sure. Yes. Okay, so I unintentionally, like I think subconsciously, I attracted all these psychedelics. I was trying to get kicked out of church, but it did do a lot of healing. But I
Yeah.
ate like a ton of acid, mushrooms, mescaline, like peyote. I think my peyote was the mescaline. I think that's it. But a lot, like my last 2 years. But I actually ended up getting a scholarship for steadily improving my GPA and attendance over the 4 years of school. Like that started like after cannabis and psychedelics, you know.
Yeah. Now there's like psychedelics, chanting, drum circles.
There's lots of stuff that you can do now at this point. I mean, that was like more extreme. I like to do the drum circles, breath work,
Yoga.
yoga.
Which has been around for at least 5,000 years.
Yin yoga is amazing. Like I used to think it was dumb when I was younger because I'm like, I'm going to yoga to work out. If it's not a vinyasa, I'm not doing it. But now as I'm older, I realize, and I know how much like weight gain you can have just from higher cortisol levels, which if you're just constantly doing intense workouts, you know, there is good for that, but it's good to have the yin and the yang. So after, you know, the last couple years, I'm like in love with the yin yoga. Like,
oh, I love you.
just let me lay here. So
Yeah.
you mean that's the whole thing? I can lay here and breathe for like 2 minutes?
And
I'm
you're-
safe to do that? That's okay?
And very supportive things.
Like what?
Like, I mean, like, you're very supported by, like, the props around you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, you're distracting me. My thoughts are, like, on my neck.
Right?
Yeah, this one feels a lot better, though, already.
You're going to feel amazing in a couple days. Oh, did you feel that move?
Yeah.
We're getting demons out of her throat today, guys. My face looks good today, doesn't it? Face is looking good. Good. We needed the face to have a break because we're doing the body sculpting every day until Wednesday. So you guys can see what it's like. See, I sacrificed myself and gain weight for you just to show you guys this. What it's like when people come to see me for like a week and they come to see me every day, what kind of results you can see, and then also what kind of things that you can combine. Like if while you're here, you want to do the acupuncturist, you want to do the IV, you know, there's all kinds of other amazing, you want to do a sound healing floating meditation with Serena.
Which is floating meditations?
I think we're going to do one. Well, as long as the weather is nice next Monday, we're going to do another floating one. I was like, let's do ones with water until it gets cold. You know, because we're going to do 12. At some point, it's going to get cold.
It's almost October.
Yeah. But I feel like summer moves later now, you know? Like May was still cold, and like we've had like 80 degrees into December. But there's also like water places. So it was like really hot when we did that one, and I was like, hey, you know, let's do I've got like a bathtub.
Thing. Yeah, you go.
Did you watch that one?
I don't think so.
I'll send it to you. Guys, go watch that, the guided meditation. We're all listening to it for like 7 days or until we do the next one. The first one we did was like chakra clearing. We did it in my backyard. That was the same day that I found somebody trying to break into the backyard, so we did protection. So listen to it to you're in your house, in your business.
Those are things that do help.
What?
Like meditation stuff.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Science, like the science behind it isn't crazy.
I love to sleep to binaural beat meditations. I've got some that have like literally changed my life overnight. Or if I like wake up and I can go to sleep for like the best is like when you're like in that in between. Like when you're about to fall asleep and when you're just waking up.
Oh, if you like bilateral stimulation music,
Yes, that's yeah, exactly.
you'll love EMDR.
Oh fun.
Because when you can actually use bilateral stimulation music for it.
Oh cool. I'm working on so I have a Yeti mic and I'm working on, you know, getting all of like the mics in order so we can film the sound healing on that. Because if we can film it on that side, then I can I can turn it into a binaural beat
Yeah.
with just playing it and not having to like program anything. But I used to make music back before I turned 25. I was gonna be a superstar. So I made music on like Fruity Loops, like production stuff, and like sang.
Now you're on YouTube.
Now we're on YouTube. We're gonna do some like guided meditations like that. Sometimes I sing songs. We're gonna sing songs with Miss Jenny today. She's back. I know I've been saying that. I swear we are.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like you're going to preschool for a second.
What?
Songs with Miss Jenny.
Songs with Miss Jenny. She does have 5 kids.
Oh, well, yeah.
So her life is kind of like a preschool, and then she watches her job is to teach autistic kids.
Oh.
So her life is a preschool. Like, I'm secretly, she quit her like other job, and I'm like, yes, now you can stay and hang out with me longer. This is your new safe place home from the children. She's like my childhood best friend if you're new here. So she started doing body sculpting with me, and she grew up Mormon, so she's on the Flux with Friends. We grew up together. She quit like 2 years ago. She started doing body sculpting with me last October, and we've gotten her from a size 22 to a size 16.
Good for her.
I know, and she hasn't been doing anything else. So we're going to be talking about that on the live stream. We just talked about it with her. Was here Wednesday? Because now it's been a year, and I'm like, okay, I did get her to get the vibration plate. So we're going to talk about, like, you know, healthy habits. Because imagine what kind of results she could have seen if she was just, you know, not, and I don't like the word like diets or whatever. I just like eating consciously.
Oh,
or there's just
eating.
Yeah, there's just certain things I just don't buy. You know what I mean? Or I have bought it before, and I'm like, and I have, you know, PCOS. So I have insulin issues. So if I have too much like sugar and spike that, like I can get right back out of like the PCOS remission thing, which I don't want to do because it hurts my joints. It hurts like, you know, a lot of icky things. My beard starts growing like crazy. So a lot of that has to do with like diet and sugar and how I work out. I can't do too much cardio. HIIT training and strength training is the best because I didn't realize that doing too much cardio, even when I was like eating super healthy, can also kick that in because it raises your cortisol levels.
Oh, so it's all in a
Yeah, so it's cortisol, insulin. It's like a fancy dance to keep away from the things. Like obviously, it's like a lot of the stuff we do here is stuff that I have found or created to help me with my PCOS issues, which weight gain, acne, hair loss. So the hair can grow. The hair loss. Here's the thing about like the hair growing though. Keep tweezers in your car. Keep tweezers in your purse. I mean, I do IPL laser on it. It makes it better. There's certain things that you can make it like not as bad. There's supplements you can take, but I honestly have not found a solution to get rid of it all the way. Even electrolysis, which is the only permanent hair removal, laser is not considered a permanent hair removal. It's like a reduction. But even the electrolysis, when it's a hormone issue, the hormones can kick in and they just grow new follicles. So it's just, unfortunately, as soon as I find something that's like really is like can help it more, like to be gone, I will let you know. Until then, that is a topic that we cover often here. So I've showed you my IPL that I use at home. I'll dermaplane and do the IPL. It'll work on the dark hair. When I get waxed, the girl who waxes me, there's like a serum now after they wax they can put on called Epil Free, and it'll minimize hair growth. I've done it a couple times on my legs, and it's definitely helped. Even like, you know, I mean, I feel like my legs look like Wolverine when I was like going through puberty. So even like I still have hair there, but it's like way less than it was. And just having way less, you can have like less ingrown hairs and stuff. There's other things when you have like so much hair. A lot of times people will think on their face that it's acne, but it's not. It's an ingrown hair. So, you know, just minimizing that, you know, I don't want to minimize just minimizing it because it has helped me with a lot of other problems. But I'll have girls come in here that are like 50 and they're like, I never had problems with the mustache until I turned 50. And I'm like, well, welcome to the club, bitch. We've been here. We started this club when I was 12. You are in good hands. I've done this for years. I've done this before I could drive. And at first, like, my mom had this, like, facial bleaching kit.
Oh.
And so I just snuck it and, like, did it on myself.
Did you burn yourself?
No. But we're sitting at Noble Romans. I'll never remember. My dad's just staring at me. He's like, why do you have a blonde mustache? I'm like, I can't know what to do. I got it to go away. Like, just straight up like that. I don't know. My mom bought it. Like, I thought that's what we were supposed to do. Blonde is not a good look. Just no mustache at all. That's a good look. You know, like 11 or 12. I don't know.
I'm back again.
We're gonna cook for a little bit. Thank you. I got this outfit on Amazon. I love this because it kind of feels like swimsuit material. And I got a lot of curves, so I don't feel comfortable. Like in Miami, I'll wear like next to nothing. But in Indiana, like if I'm at a place with water around kids, I just feel more comfortable and more covered up, around the children. Everybody's been off on the timing today, but it's actually turned out to be like divine timing. Everything's turned out perfect.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. We're gonna let it cook. See me in Miami? Okay.
When do you go to Miami next?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, apparently, like, I don't know, because now we just started this 12-week thing, and that pretty much goes through winter. So probably like maybe January or something, I guess.
Very good.
I forgot about that. Or I might just go for like a quick weekend or something. We'll see. And just not work. It's hard to go there and not work, especially last time I hadn't been in 18 months, and I usually go like every other month. So just seeing other people and seeing students and stuff.
Oh, you work.
Yeah, because I used to have a spa there. So now I train people there. But it would be nice to just go for like a quick weekend. I love that when I can just go and like take a backpack and just be like a beach bum. Bring like one cute outfit. I have a storage there, you know what I mean? So I really don't have to bring anything. But then I always end up like getting stuff. So it's still better if I do.
It feels so good.
Yay!
I know it's so random to say though.
No, not at all, because we just like worked that neck, girl. Work it. So it's interesting because like the limerance, I can finally take it off my bird list. Do you know about the Finch app?
Yes, everyone loves it. You get to dress up your little Finch.
I know, it's so fun. So that's on the Finch list too, is to make a video about the Finch, especially for neurodivergent people. But we have to have the special things. Like they took away the special things for a minute, and I'm like, I don't even want to play now. Like you took away my reward system. Don't you know what you're doing? I thought you built this for my brain, but they brought it back.
I was gonna say, the people I know who use it, they love it because of the little bird.
Because you can dress it up. It's like a Tamagotchi mixed with a to-do list, mixed with like a motivator.
I think you can journal in it.
You can journal in it. You can do breathing exercises. I kind of fell off for a minute because I just had all these other like things on fire coming up that I was like, I gotta like whittle down my list or whatever. But today we get to knock off a few things because this has literally been on that list I think the McPlus ones for like over a year. The erotic transference has been on there for like 2 years.
Yeah.
To do a video on.
No, it happens so with erotic transference, it happens more than I think people think it happens. In general?
Well, yeah, and a lot of times, like, I mean, I'm in like a health wellness space, but when I realized what that was, I was like, oh, when I was a bartender, I had that. When I was, go-go dancing, I've had that. And luckily, during all of those times, I had a boyfriend who was like 6'2" and very muscly. You know what I mean? So it was very easy to just be like, hey, this is my boyfriend. And then people would leave you alone. But, then I go back and forth sometimes online with like just wanting to like make up a boyfriend so people will like not be weird to me. But then I'm like, okay, but then I could be blocking myself somebody I would actually date, But sometimes you gotta be like, no, you gotta be more direct. It's annoying when people just can't, like, I'm not even hinting sometimes. I'll be like, hey, this is not that. Let's have boundaries. Let me send you a definition of what boundaries is. And people will still on and on and on. So then,
Yeah, and people experience like hearing and love for the first time potentially from someone, or just someone's nice to them and they misinterpreted that as like romantic feelings versus
Yes.
like.
Can you say that again? Yeah.
Yeah. So people will misinterpret it as you being nice or like kind and loving to them and like just holding space for someone as the romantic piece when it's really just
absolutely
being there for someone for the first time.
Exactly. Maybe they haven't felt that before or whatever, you know. And then you try to explain it to them, and some people will be like, "Okay, cool. Like, let's work on that because you did come to a place for healing." But some people will just not realize that they're coming for healing. They think they're coming for a facial, or they think they're coming for this, you know.
Yeah, like the sculpting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, well, this is like, you know, the energy stuff too, especially when erotic transference things comes out. Because if somebody's doing that, there's something that's not wired correctly in the brain. And if you're open to it, like the neuroplasticity, we can rewire that, you know.
Yeah.
But some people, it's just like the more you tell them no, the more, you know, erratic.
Yeah, they become.
Yeah, or like almost like an anxious thing. Do you see a lot of people with anxious attachments who get the limerance and stuff like that?
A little bit. So yeah.
Or is that something similar but different? Because with the ADHD and the CPTSD, a lot of people could view me as like an avoidant attachment because sometimes those look similar, but it's coming from a different space. Does that make sense?
It is, because yours is through how your brain is operating.
Wired, yeah.
Versus you could have avoidance attachment too. I don't know.
I had it tested, and they're like, no, it's just the.
Yeah.
But I am quick to be like. But I don't like play games, you know what I mean, with that. Like the avoidance too. Like once I'm done, I'm just done. I'm gonna go look at something else. Like, this displeases me. Let's go find something better to look at.
Oh yeah.
Which that's like more like the object avoidance autism kind of thing. Like ick. That energy smells weird. Get it away from me.
Yeah. I can see how it looks like avoidance though.
No, absolutely, because I went through that like deep, and I was like, I heard this avoidant thing, but I feel like I definitely get along better with avoidant type people, because it's like, cool, okay, you go over there, I'm gonna go over here too, fine, like we're cool. The anxious attachment is just like, it's too much for me. I can't get along. And so that's another thing that I've heard, like the avoidant and the anxious.
It's sometimes the worst relationships.
But they can but they often attract to each other because they kind of feed on different things.
Yeah.
Where like at autism, I'm just like, okay, just go away. Ew.
No, well, there's that piece. Yeah. So they could be, right, if we're anxious attached, we're like worried people are going to leave us. Just to a degree, right? Eventually.
I'll tell people from the beginning, I'm like, listen, even like the best marriages are going to end in death. Any kind of relationship is going to end up, you know, in death or divorce. So just be like loving in the moment for what it is, you know. And I think that's like more of like an autistic way to think. Like this was a chapter, that book went from here to here, that was a lovely time, we learned some things from it, and now that book is done, new book. Is that more of a, I don't know, that's just how I think about things. But it's all like, I don't know how neurotypical people think, and then there's people who are neurotypical but they have these other things. And it's, you know, really important when you're trying to learn to communicate with others, especially if you come from a place, like I would just like tell the truth all the time how I saw it. And, you know, I would offend people all the time. I had to learn like tactful ways to say things. And sometimes things will go through 18 filters in my brain and it still comes out mean. And I'm like, damn, okay, well, you didn't want to hear the 17 versions before that if you thought that was mean.
No, yeah. I think that varies too, because of how everyone's raised in communication styles and stuff.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Right, because some people are also conflict avoidant like no other.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, those ones are challenging. Because I'm like, okay, if there's a problem, let's just talk about it so we can fix it. I'm like a fixing type of thing.
Yeah.
But some people will just like... I saw somebody do a video about that. She was like, you know what is so weird to me as a girl with autism? Like... So many neurotypical people don't want to talk about shit. You just want to like sweep it under the rug like nothing happened. Like my brain can't do that. Like there has to be a solution to this. Or the solution is to like never talk to you again. Because that displeased me. And I don't like to be displeased or disappointed.
Yeah.
Don't like to be displeased. Don't like to be disappointed. Don't like to be annoyed. So if 1, 2, 3 of these happens with one person, I'm just going to avoid that person. So that can kind of seem avoidant. But it's still coming from a different place. Like, and as somebody who's autistic, when I feel those feelings, it actually causes me physical pain. I can't explain it. You know what I mean? So like, your face, the sound of your voice causes me pain. Go away. And that's like we were talking about, like the energy stuff too, right? How those can be, is it that? Is it like a neurodivergent neurotypical thing, or is it like a hi from New Zealand?
Oh, New Zealand, fun.
We have New Zealand in here today. We had the Philippines. We got Chicago. We're in Carmel, Indiana. And next time you can try the body sculpting one if you want. You can do it at the same time.
Oh, cool.
But I think that worked wonders. Yeah, that moves so much better now.
I can feel the difference in my neck, I feel like, with your hand.
Yeah, no, isn't that awesome? So yeah, the cool thing is like when we're doing everything we do, whether it's to, make you look good, which a lot of people come here for that, we've got all these bonus like side effects that you get where like this is gonna help with tech neck, or if somebody comes for like a tech neck facial, they're also gonna look younger. I can't pick a button to do one or the other. It's always gonna do both. So whether you want to come to release some stress from your face, from your neck, just like relaxing, we can do that. But you're also going to look younger, whether you want to or not. So if you don't want to look younger, you don't want your skin to look better, go to someplace else.
Unfortunately, live in a youth obsessed world, though.
Well, I mean, I don't like to talk about so much youth, but just health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the
well,
skin
I know you do, but I meant like in general.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because we want to talk about, like, the skin is the largest organ of the body. All right. Well, it's been so much fun. I feel like we covered a lot. We're going to, I'll put her before and afters on the thing, and we will announce when we're going to do the next one. So we are going to have, like, a video. We're going to go back and, like, talk through this and maybe do, like, a 10-minute video based on one of the things we topic, like a top 5, top 3, something on these things. Like I've got some funny clips in mind. I've been wanting to like try making videos with clips, so that'll be fun. And then I'll let you know when she's gonna be back here. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys here in like 5 minutes because Miss Amber's in the other room. So we're gonna move this light over here, wash these hands, get a picture of this lovely face, and we'll be back on the live. So make sure you're subscribed. Click that little bell, turn on all of the notifications so you don't miss out when we go live. And I'll see you guys in like 5.5 minutes.
You have a lot of lives today.